and welcome. You're watching Ask Profit here on NDTV Profit. I'm Harsh Saita, with me is Anushi Vakharia, and over the next hour or so, we'll take all of your queries and have all of them answered, as many as possible rather, answered by our guests. Number flashing at the bottom of your screen. Do WhatsApp us. Do share details, your holding period, your holding expectations in terms of time, your already made or return expectations. Do share some of those details with us to help us get you better perspective. But quickly on to where markets are at currently. We're seeing the Nifty 50 up around 0.7 odd %, and we're holding up fairly steadily at that 0.7 odd % mark. We're just below the 25,000 mark on the Nifty, and we're holding fairly steady, at least for the day. It's a good
today, but with that, we'll take it across to our guest for today, Vineet Bolinchkar, head of research from Ventura Securities, and Rajesh Palviya, senior vice president, technical and derivatives research from Axis Securities, join in. Hello and welcome to Ask Profit. Vineet, let me take it to you. The street is not excited about the new acquisition that Zydus Life Science has made. What are your views on it? How is it looking fundamentally?
I think, we would like to delve more deeper into the strategy of the company before commenting on the JV, the acquisition.
Vineet, fair point, but just with regard to where we are currently and all the limited information we have, and just where valuations are at, where Zydus Life is concerned, is there a view that you may have?
No, I think the Zydus valuations is fairly priced, and we would like to see more commentary come in, as I said, before making any kind of statement of this acquisition.
All right, Rajesh, I'll come to you on this one. How is Zydus Life Science looking to you on charts?
So after today's gap down, stock now slipped below to its 20-day, 50-day moving average, and stock has broken down its upsloping trend line on the downside. So looking at the near-term, short-term structure, we believe that some more weakness we could see in the stock prices. Possible downside we may see towards 1,070 to 1,050. That's the lower side, the level where we can see Zydus Life Science to slip further. So until the stock not crosses above 1180 kind of zone, I think we may see further more supply to there in the stock prices. So I think one should wait for this supply pressure to settle down. Maybe around 1,050, 1,060. Again, we can review this stock.
Okay, it looks like both our analysts on board with a wait and watch on this one. But let's quickly start taking viewer queries. Do share your queries on the number flashing at the bottom of your screen. Give us details so that our guests can help you answer your specific query better. But first off, we have Anvesh from Andhra Pradesh. He holds 10 shares in Bajaj Finance at 6,606 rupees a share. Vineet, I'll come to you on this one, because his expectation is to get him some views with regard to whether he should add more to his holding, whether he should sell or hold.
So this is with regards to Bajaj Finance, right?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I think, if you take two things into consideration, rates are expected to decline globally, and two is consumption booming in India thanks to the fiscal profligacy of all the states. I think with, just one segment of the consumer market booming, like, where we are expecting air conditioners to grow at 40%, I don't think that the price of Bajaj Finance can be held down any longer. To this you add one more fact that, Bajaj Housing will get listed separately. All focus in Bajaj Finance will be on consumerism, and with the FMCG and consumer durables boom in this country, I'm definitely expecting Bajaj Finance to have kind of bottomed out for the long term. One more trigger that we are waiting for is that in the September quarter we hear that the credit costs are well in control. Once you have all this, then we have a recipe for a stock which could possibly double in the next 2.5 to 3 years.
Okay, so that was the view on Bajaj Finance. But Vineet, I'll stay with you for the next query. Now, Mohit from Ludhiana wants to understand more on NMDC. He's got about 500 shares of NMDC at a price of about 136. Also received 500 additional stocks of NMDC against the demerger which took place. So he wants to understand from a 2-year perspective, what is the view on NMDC? It's currently at a 43,000 of profit. So that's quite a big profit number that he's already sitting on.
So I think that he should continue to hold his stock since he's got some handsome profits. And we believe that NMDC and NMDC Steel both are poised to do well going ahead, primarily due to the fact that India's infrastructure boom is really playing out and shaping nicely. So we expect things to do well, and we believe that the steel prices have kind of bottomed out. So we will see some better pricing coming for these stocks also.
Rajesh, let me switch over to you. We have Koma from Shillong. She's purchased 500 shares of Tejas Networks at 1,272 rupees a piece, sitting on a decentish kind of profit. But your views with regard to what she should do with regard to Tejas Networks?
So overall, long-term structure is bullish. Some profit taking has been there in the stock from the higher level, but still, if you analyze on the medium-term to long-term perspective, I think she may hold on the position as stock is taken the support from 1200 kind of zone on the lower side. Until the stock is holding about 1200, we feel that there could be another round of buying we may see in the stock and possible upside. Towards 1380 to 1440 we can see in the short period of time. But on the longer term chart, I think the targets are much higher, and we believe that on the long term perspective 1600 to 1700 could be the target. So I think with the stop loss of 1200 she can hold on the position.
Okay, a hold on Tejas Networks and overall a positive stance that we are looking at from here. But we'll move on to the next query, and this is from Praveen from Hyderabad. He's holding Protein EGOV shares, and this is at a price of 1187. He holds about 130 shares and currently sitting at a 1,100 of a profit. Rajesh, let me come to you on this one. Do you have the stock under coverage? What's your view on Protein EGOV over here?
So we are not tracking this stock actively, but yes, I'm just opening the chart and looking at the structure. We believe that still stock is showing strength on a short to medium term perspective. The way stock is holding above 1950, 1980 kind of zone, I think trend may remain on the bullish side. Once stock crosses about 2100 kind of zone, then possible rally may extend to 2250, even 2300 kind of zone. So I think for trading, I think it's not a trading stock. I think if we can hold on for some investment perspective, yes, they can hold the position. At this juncture, I'll advise to keep stop loss of 1940 to hold the position. 2250 to 2300 would be the next target on the higher side.
All right. So those are some levels for you. Let me come to you, Vineet. We have a viewer who holds 55 shares of IREDA at 279 rupees a piece. Now, your quick take with regard to this one, because we've seen a significant run up in the stock price. What's the sense now at this point?
So I think financials will continue to do well. However, we believe IREDA is overpriced, and I would recommend replacing IREDA with PFC or REC. We think both of them are substantially underpriced to IREDA. They all have similar business models, and we expect PFC and REC to outperform IREDA.
Okay, so that was the view on REC. But now moving on to the next one is for Shyam Metallics. Now, here he has bought 45 shares at a price of about 500. Whether he should hold, sell or add, Rajesh, I'll come to you on this one. What's your view on Shyam Metallics? How is it looking on a chart?
So very strong momentum is going on in this stock. Stock is almost trading near to its all-time high trajectory. The way stock has moved up in last couple of weeks, we believe that furthermore follow-up buying action could be there in the stock prices, and possible target towards 900 to 940 we can see. So I think trailing of stop loss would be the right strategy at this juncture, as he has bought at very lower level. So at this juncture, I'll advise to keep stop loss of around 780 to hold the position. Possible target towards 900 to 940 we can see in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, Rajesh, I'll stick with you. We have Pushpa who wants to know whether Indegene, what should she do? She owns around 33 odd shares at 452 a piece. Should she continue to hold, add or sell?
So this is a recent listing stock, so I don't have much data for the stock, but the limited data which I have at this juncture, that is, showing a very, range-bound behavior for the stock. Stock is moving in range only. On the higher side, the technical structure is suggesting that 630, 640 is the higher band for this consolidation range. If that happens, then possible target we may see towards 750 to 800 also. On the downside, 500 is the major support area for this stock. And just in a disclosure, this stock I am holding in my personal portfolio also. So I would suggest to take some other financial expert to advise also.
So the next one on the list is about Hutco. Vinod from Chennai wants to understand whether he should buy Hutco or Zomato for a 2-year time horizon. Can he buy it at current levels or need to wait for further corrections? Rajesh, I'll come to you on this one. Hutco or Zomato, which one you prefer?
So for short-term trading perspective, Zomato would be my preferred choice, as the stock is almost trading near to its all-time high trajectory. The way stock has managed to give breakout and holding the ground at high levels, so Zomato would be the stock for trading perspective or short-term basis. Possible target on a short-term we can see towards 285 to 290 in the stock, and on the downside, he may keep the stop loss around 250. Hutco is in correction mode. Though stock is corrected from its previous swing high, the way stock has corrected, I think on the downside, 255 to 50 is the important support area for this corrective move. Though stock has slipped below to 50-day moving average, so maybe in near term we may see some pressure. So I think one should wait for further more correction. 250, 255 is the right level again, to re-enter in this stock.
Okay, Vineet, if I can come to you on this, Hutco versus Zomato, quite divergent just in terms of sectors plus in terms of the way the business functions. But from a 2-year perspective, any views you may have?
So, Zomato, although it's a popular stock, I also believe in the fundamentals of the company. But, I'm more comfortable buying it at lower levels because we think that FY27 we had a, target of 260 already achieved, and there could be little bit of upside, but I think Hutco offers you far more options, especially considering the fact that interest rates are now going to decline. I think the financials will now come back into the fore.
Okay, so that was a view on Hutco versus Zomato. But moving on to PFC now, here the next query is from Dikesh. He wants to understand 6 to 12 month view on PFC. He currently has about 200 shares, and this is at a price of about 530. He's currently sitting at a loss of 3,000, about a 3,000. Rajesh, I'll come to you on this one. 6 to 12 months, what's your outlook on PFC? What is the kind of stop loss levels that he should be looking at?
Outlook is on the bullish side. The way stock has moved up in last couple of months, and stock after this correction also, stock is holding about 220 to 50-day moving average. Long-term breakout is already intact for the stock. So we believe that, yes, in the next 6 months to 12 months, yes, there would be another round of buying interest, and then stock may exhibit furthermore, higher level from the current prices. Possible target we may see towards 600 to 620 kind of zone. So I think at this juncture, you should keep the stop loss of around 485 to hold the position in PFC. Maybe we may see a good up move in next couple of months towards 600 to 630.
Okay, Vineet, let me switch over to you. We have a viewer, Senthil, who has 3,500 landmark shares at a price of rupees 600 a piece. Slight loss, if at all, and just wanting to know your views on landmark cars from medium-term perspective.
So, landmark car has been quite a lethargic mover, and despite having the, all the things working for it in terms of sales of international vehicles, foreign-made cars, good service income, growth, everything kicking in for it, the stock has significantly underperformed. And given the fact that, it's not doing so well, I think we would ask him to switch and buy into some of our favorite counters, like I have spoken to you about Paytm or maybe Bajaj Finance or even into Marston's Pharma, which are doing really well.
Okay, Vineet, we'll stay with you. We'll shift focus to the IT sector now. KV Narayan Rao from Visakhapatnam, he holds shares of Persistent System, and this is at a price of about 4,423. Wants to understand the long-term view on this one, whether he should continue to hold it at these levels that we are looking at. What is your view on Persistent?
I missed the stock. Which stock is it? Persistent
Systems,
okay.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best IT stocks to have in your portfolio. Hold on to it, and we believe that you will definitely be rewarded handsomely. My only take is that IT sector as a whole is for me a trading bet, because I'm very skeptical of the US markets, so my view on Persistent Computers is qualified by the fact that we are underweight on tech, IT stocks.
Okay, Rajesh, let me switch over to you. We have Sibi from Chennai wanting a view on Spandana Spurti. 150 shares is what is held at 670 rupees a piece. Your sense with regard to where this one will go, especially in the short to medium term?
So stock has corrected all the way from the level of 1200. Now it's trading at 600 level. Stock is making series of lower top, lower bottom formation. Stock is slipped below to all its important moving averages. So looking at the short to medium term as well as the near term structure, it looks on the bearish side, and we may see furthermore weakness. At this juncture, 600 is the critical level. Some reversal was there from those levels, but still the indicators are still indicating that maybe we may see furthermore weakness in the stock if it breaks below to 600 zone, and then if it's happened, then possible down move can extend to 550 kind of zone also. So my advice would be if any pullback comes near to the prices as is bought around 630, 640 zone. So I think if you get any chance to exit around those levels, try to exit in and switch into some other stocks.
Okay, so that was the view on Spandana Spurti, but I'll come back to you, Vineet, on the next one, which is from Prakash from Chennai. He wants to understand the view on Galaxy Surfactants. He's bought it at 70 shares at a price of about 2,800. He's holding it for 2 years and has not seen any significant movement in terms of stock price. Should he continue to hold on to this? What is your view on Galaxy Surfactants?
So it's a great stock, just facing a kind of a depressed sentiment because of the bearishness in the specialty chemical space. With the pharma with the FMCG sector expected to pick up, I also expect this stock to do materially well, so he can continue to hold on to this.
All right, let me switch over to Rajesh. Rajesh, we have Sudhakar from Bangalore holding 1100 shares of IEX at 174 rupees a piece, and he's holding it since 2022. Wants to know whether he should continue to hold or sell. What are technicals and what are charts indicating?
So in the last couple of months, the stock has recovered significantly from its recent low, and the way stock is now trading about to 50-day moving average, stock is still managed to hold its previous breakout. So our advice would be to hold the position as stock is showing strength on the near term as well as on the short term charts. So maybe once the stock crosses over 195, 196 zone on a weekly closing basis, then we may see furthermore upside to 220 to 230 kind of zone also. So 176 would be the stop loss to keep to hold the position in IEX. Possible target on a breakout above 196 maybe there around 220 to 230 kind of zone.
Okay, so 176 is the stop loss level that you should be watching out for. But for the next query, this is Anil Jain from Bhopal. He holds about 100 shares of Adani Wilmar at a price of 450 and wants to understand the future outlook on this one, whether he should make exit on this one or continue to hold. He's currently at a loss position over here. Vineet, I'll come to you on this one. Do you have Adani Wilmar in your coverage?
Yes, we do have Adani Wilmar in our coverage. We believe that the stock is now poised to move up. Couple of reasons for that is that the chemical sector as well as the commodity price trends are favorable to the company. With Adani is having announced their intention that they want to exit from the company, makes Wilmar the sole owner of this company. And we believe they've got the entire consumption theme well figured out, especially in the food staple space. So while the stock is expensive, we expect operating leverage and volume growth to play out, and hence our positive view on the stock.
Well, positive view. Just want to quickly caveat, NDTV group is part of Adani Media Group, which is also part of the larger Adani Group. So please bear that in mind. But quickly switching focus, we have Ola Electric, 2,900 shares purchased. We have M. Nirmala from Hyderabad at 146.3 rupees a piece. Stock has fallen below the, or rather in around, just below the 120 rupee mark now. Vineet, let me come to you just from a perspective that technicals we may have very limited view, but Vineet, from a fundamental perspective, what should the viewer do?
On which stock are we speaking?
Ola Electric, 2,900 shares purchased at 146.
I think the timing of the stock was very bad. You bought it at almost 2-year target highs. We expect the stock to consolidate around levels of 105 to 108, which is our buy levels. So if you can manage to hold on to your losses, you can look to average the stock around the levels that I have mentioned.
Okay, so look to average losses, but completely out of time on this one. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us, both Vineet as well as Rajesh. Well, with that, completely out of time on this edition of Ask Profit. Of course, we've not been able to take several views. We will try to take those tomorrow, so tune back in to Ask Profit. But for now, a goodbye from all of us who puts the show together.